Last week, Charlie gave a speech about coincidences, or deja vu, whatever, and I thought that would really be an exciting topic because we all have had coincidences in our life, especially I have, and so I was determined I was going to present a speech about coincidences. And I talked to Gene, and he's doubling his off-the-grid power output at his house, which is exciting, very exciting as well. And so I really didn't know what to do, and I had a dream last night. I woke up from my dream, woke her up, I said, how about this? We have a special class on selling things to people, okay? And so we pick Linda and we give her something to sell. And she gets up and she makes her sales pitch to the group. And then she's critiqued after this pitch, and she takes these notes, and then she gives the same group the same pitch, varied, about selling the same object. And she goes over and over and over, and they critique until finally they can no longer resist, and they buy the object that she's selling. And I was so taken with that I'll give you guys 5 minutes, and I'm going to sell you a off-the-grid solar system, okay, because I've been practicing it all afternoon. This right here,
Turn on the power.
this right here is power. I plug in my lamp, I got power. There is a problem with this, however, and what is that?
No, it goes out.
I am tied to the government. No shade. I love you, Diane. Was that you that said that? Anyway, I'm tied to the government. But I want to be off the grid, especially with the way the world is turning right now. And so I start looking around. Now I find something like this. Everybody see these, right? Buy them at the hardware store. And boom, you got light. And it gets its power from the sun. Charges a little battery in here, and then at night you got power in your shed or wherever you're going to be. So with that in mind, we go shopping. Does anyone know what this is? Gene?
Solar panel.
This is a solar panel. And the job of this solar panel is what?
Power.
To gather sun rays?
To gather sun rays and convert them to
Electricity.
Power.
charge a battery, right?
Electricity.
Am I right, Gene?
Well, it can charge a battery or it can actually run too. No, it can charge, yeah, it has to be inverted first, so it can charge.
Okay, so this can charge
Constant source of power line.
a battery. But when the sun goes down, then what happens?
You use the battery
Use the battery,
until it goes down.
and there's a chance that the battery might discharge through the solar panel. Is that right?
Not the-
Unless it's engineered with
Unless
one
you
way.
have the proper
Yeah.
equipment to keep it.
So we have equipment.
Yeah.
Now this is a solar charge controller, and on the center connector it says plug your solar in there. So I'll plug that little bugger in. Right here it says hook your battery there. So I'm going to hook the battery there. Just following instructions here.
Yes.
What?
At the end of World War II, the Americans took over many of the facilities from the Nazis. And in one facility, they found transistors. This is at the end of World War II. Everything that we used in our military up into the 60s was tubes. Everybody remember the old tubes, okay? But they had transistors, and these transistors basically were silicon-based, okay? And so, of course, we went with it, just like the atomic bomb. We got that from Germany. Many things came from other military complexes, shall we say, okay? Anyway, the silicon-based transistor evolved gradually over the years into what we have right here. When the protons from the sun hit that on one side, they release electrons, which have to find their way to the other side because the other side then becomes depleted from electrons. And so it chases itself around. Now, I have to go fast because this right here is going to connect my solar to this little dealie right here, which gives me 12.8 volts. Okay? So if I plug this in to 12.8 volts, and I take my lamp and plug it in here, I should have power
You do.
with no electricity. Wouldn't that be nice to have? So I challenge you to go out and purchase one of these things. Any questions? Do we have time for questions, Carla?
Where's the store?
All right, the store is called Amazon.com. That's my favorite store.
What about selling back to the electric companies?
Now, that is question 3, I think it is.
Can't help you, I don't belong to the
But you
electric
voted,
Huh?
you voted,
Yeah?
you read
Oh,
question
yeah.
3. You are the one man that I can count on to give me the right answer because you're living off the grid. You're my hero.
I don't, the electric company doesn't bother me because they don't come by.
I know, but
But whether, if, in California, they sell it back to the electric company, as they should. If you're gonna put out the money to buy a system, in my mind, you should be able to get money back if it provides the power that you need. And if the power's going the other direction, you should be able to sell it back to the power company.
However, in Nevada, I don't believe you can do that, you're fined.
not yet. Well, that's what, right now you're fine.
Cost you more to sell your excess power to Nevada Energy than people who are actually on the grid, or solar into the grid now, are paying more for their energy than when they didn't have any solar.
Yeah.
They're being penalized to have solar.
And that is one of the reasons I think that question 3, but I think the question is worded backwards, so if you vote no, it means yes, and if you vote yes, it means no. So you got to make sure you read that and understand what you're signing. I know, but it was an important question. I thought, I'm sorry that we went over time. I'm not sorry because it's a really important question.
Well, you're part of
And
it.
I think that this is the way to go. We should all at least have some backup. Suzanne asked me today if I would power her garden shed with solar.
I got a toilet that's backed up.
Yeah, well, of course, and I'm digging a new septic. That's why I have a John Deere. All right, thank you very much.